Original.
Hello, and welcome to Web Crawlers, the podcast where we do a deep dive into some of our favorite mysteries. Each week, we will introduce our topic, lay out our research and findings, reveal some conspiracy theories, and conclude with our own hypothesis. I am Allie Siegel.
I am Melissa Stettin.
And I'm producer Maria.
Maria couldn't be here today, so we actually made a Maria bot, and she's going to be joining us to produce the show today. Right, Maria bot?
Absolutely, Allie.
Great. Thank you so much. Melissa, who are our patrons for today?
We have Arissa, Chloe, Pilar, Bradley, and Tyler.
Guys, welcome to the team. I love the name Chloe. I think it's so pretty.
I thought you were going to say Pilar.
I do love that too.
Cool.
Anyways, we are continuing with Women's History Month, where we highlight female mysteries, female true crime, female supernatural, and the such. Melissa, what is our episode today?
Well, we got an email from our listener, Natalie, and it says, I ran across this story, but the article is so very long and I'm lazy AF, so I don't want to actually read it, and I want you guys to explain it to me, and also it would be so much more entertaining that way. It's about this chick, Lim Ji-hyun, who escaped North Korea and became a social media influencer in South Korea. Then she went missing. I think that North Korea may have kidnapped her. I don't know. I skimmed. All of it seems right up your alley. Please do an episode. Well, Natalie, I read that article and I looked into this story and it's crazy. It's very crazy.
Can I say a side note real quick about reading articles?
Yes.
Twitter, I am like such a big, and it's horrible. I'm so big on just like reading the caption or title of an article and then just thinking I get the gist, which is horrible. It's so irresponsible. And I feel like such a millennial thing to do. Now Twitter has a thing where it says, before you just retweet something, it says, are you sure you don't want to read the article before you retweet this?
Oh my God.
It's funny.
It's so
That's
shameful.
crazy.
It makes me feel so bad.
Well, because a lot of headlines now are just clickbait, and what the headlines are is the opposite of what the article is. Like, it's so
Totally.
it's so insane.
I mean, I agree with it. They should be doing that, but it really just, it really sticks it to you. Makes you,
I'm like, no, I don't want to spend 5 minutes reading this.
I don't even know how to read. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a woman. No one taught me how to read.
I know. Women can't read.
Women can't read. Anyways, yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so the article Natalie is talking about was in Marie Claire, and it's by Abigail Haworth. Came out like a month ago. The article is called The Vanishing Act. And the headline of the article says, her life in South Korea seemed perfect. New friends, a burgeoning career, reality TV fame, but she was about to become notorious, disappearing without a trace, only to reappear pledging allegiance to North Korea.
Oh.
What happened to Lim Ji-hyun?
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So in 2014, 23-year-old Lim Ji-hyun, a former North Korean soldier, escaped the dictatorship of North Korea to go to Seoul, South Korea. And how she got there is she most likely paid Chinese brokers to sneak her across the Chinese border and then got into Seoul from there, which is what a lot of the other North Korean defectors had been doing at the time. And according to a Vice article about her, she married a Chinese national in an arranged marriage and then ended the marriage and escaped to Seoul. So that's, I guess, is one of the more common ways to escape North Korea. And she seemed to have this like great life in Seoul. She started posting videos about what her life was like in North Korea, and she got really popular. She had a fan club, and her fan club threw her this birthday party for her on her 26th birthday in April 2017. And then she wrote on her blog, "This is possibly the happiest birthday of my life. Thank you to all the fans who love me. You give me the courage to keep speaking out." But that was the last post before she just disappeared completely.
Oh, scary.
And she was super active online. And then all of a sudden there was just no activity from her. None of her friends could locate her. So the police started to investigate. And they went to her apartment in Gangnam District, as in Oppa Gangnam Style.
Wow.
It's a district in Seoul.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Her apartment, it was empty. There was like some random belongings there. And she also had $20,000 in her bank account. And so it wasn't like, oh, she moved. It was like, no, she just kind of up and left.
I have a question.
Yes.
How long do you think you would have to be missing for someone to notice? You guys are both in relationships, so this would be a little different, but I'm just curious.
An hour.
Yeah, a couple hours.
I agree. The last time I slept until 11. My mom was like, I'm on the way to your house. Like, you haven't answered my text. This is crazy.
Oh, God. Well, because you
Yeah.
normally would wake up at like 7 or 8, right?
Yeah. I've also dated people who are like really introverted and don't really text people back often, who I feel like could be missing for weeks without people noticing.
Sure, that's yeah.
So it's crazy. Yeah. So she seems like people noticed immediately.
Yeah, when I lived alone and wasn't dating anyone, a week.
Yeah. If you're single and like live alone and are not very social and don't have a close relationship with your parents or something, I feel like you could go
2 weeks.
and maybe freelance. You could go a while, I think.
I'd say 2 weeks for me.
Freelance. Yeah.
So a lot of these young female defectors from North Korea have become popular online recently for sharing their experiences.
Wow.
They're called quote unquote Northern Beauties. And they're interviewed on talk shows and reality TV. And they talk about all the crazy shit they saw in North Korea, like the quote unquote Western evils, like blue jeans and pop music.
Well, jeans are evil.
They are evil. Have you
are
put on
evil.
jeans lately?
Yeah, I tried and I did not fit into
Put on
them.
jeans like a week ago was shocking.
Yeah, first of all, none of my jeans fit. They all,
I did
they
not.
for
Yeah,
sure have
jeans are
shrunk.
evil. I haven't washed them, but all my clothes shrunk over quarantine.
Yeah,
It's
weird.
really weird.
And these Northern Beauties talked about the public executions by firing squads that they witnessed.
Oh my God.
And Lim was one of these Northern Beauties who people watched and gravitated towards because she was cute and charming and entertaining. So the police didn't treat this like some random disappearance. They knew that it was most likely related to North Korea because she was like a recent defector. And since the 1950s, there's been over 34,000 defectors. And Kim Jong-un does not like defectors. He thinks it's treasonous. And he's also an insane psychopath. So he goes to these extreme lengths to recapture the defectors, just like to get revenge. Like, how dare you leave my country? And so penalties for defecting range from being shot and killed to being sent to a hard labor camp for 5 or more years, which is basically a death sentence because there's no food for medicine and people freeze to death in the winter.
Jeez. Oh my
God.
It's nuts. So Lim is one of 42 North Korean defectors who have gone missing in the South in the past 5 years. They're mostly unexplained, and a lot of them are suspected of involving foul play from the North. And I just remember this, a side note. So Kim Jong-un went to school in Switzerland, and Martin, my husband, went to the same school as him.
What school is it? Can we know?
I don't remember the name of it, but it's a school where a lot of like diplomats' children go to, because Martin's dad was he was like the Canadian ambassador to like World Trade Organization.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Were they
Yeah.
there at the same time? Wait,
No, because Kim Jong-un is like 7 years younger than Martin.
What?
Yeah,
Kim Jong-un is that
he's
young?
36, I think. He's my age.
Wow, I need to
You
accomplish
guys didn't know he was
more.
that young? Yeah, he loves Dennis Rodman, basketball, and McDonald's.
That's crazy. I also went to school in Switzerland for a summer.
You did?
You did?
Yeah, it's called TASIS, the American school in Switzerland. It's in Lugano, Switzerland. I went there to learn French.
Oh, je ne sais quoi?
Parlez-vous français?
Oui, oui.
Okay, so a month before Lim went missing, Kim Jong-un allegedly ordered more kidnappings of defectors to be returned to the North. And obviously, the more popular a defector becomes, like Lim, they're at greater risk of being captured or killed. They're basically like whistleblowers because they talk
Wow.
about all the stuff that Kim
Yeah.
Jong-un doesn't want to get out and he denies. Like all of the oppression, the lack of food, like the electricity shortages.
Jesus.
And so these women like all go on TV and say like it was awful. There was no food. There's no medicine. It was misogynistic.
Well, they can't
it
even
was
use
crazy.
the internet, right?
Yeah,
Can they
no.
use the internet in North Korea?
They can't watch movies or TV. They have to watch them on
Jesus.
bootlegs. Like they sneak them in.
Remember when what was that Seth Rogen and James Franco movie caused a big stink with North
Oh.
Korea? Like they almost couldn't release it because like North Korea was like going to wage war with America over that Seth
Well, no,
Rogen
they
movie.
Right.
hacked Sony.
Was that what happened?
I think.
Wait, was that when all the emails leaked?
Yeah.
Wasn't that where James Franco kept saying they hate us because they ain't us? And Seth Rogen's like, stop saying that. It's so
I
annoying.
never saw it.
It was really funny.
When the news of the film emerged in June, North Korea vowed merciless countermeasures if it was released. It appears to have made good on that promise with a devastating cyber attack on Sony Pictures Entertainment, knocking out the studio's computer network on November 24.
So February 17th, 2021, 3 North Koreans indicted in Sony hack. So that was just recently.
Last month.
Yeah.
Wow. So essentially, Seth Rogen is responsible for the Sony hack.
I don't think he is, but I think the movie
Indirectly.
Yeah. The hack erased corporate data, obtained sensitive company emails among top Hollywood executives, and forced the company to rebuild its entire computer network.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay, so women make up 80% of the defectors because of all the gender inequalities and abuse at home in North Korea. They can only watch TV and movies through bootleg copies. So when they see TV shows or movies depicting a life with more freedom and less oppression, they want to escape and have a better life. They're like, wait a minute, all these movies show women having like equal rights or like having better lives. Like, I want that life. That's crazy. I'm stuck at home with like an abusive husband and my life is terrible.
Yeah.
Life is pretty much total garbage for women in North Korea. They're more likely to be malnourished and denied access to basic health care. Wearing pants is banned in many places. You can't have long hair if you're over 30. And there's tons of reports of sexual violence. And Kim Jong-un is extremely misogynistic. So before Lim vanished in 2016, North Korean propaganda news sites and social media pages began posting grainy photos of a young woman in various sexual poses. They claimed it was Lim and that she was working as a cam girl, which was like obviously a campaign to smear her.
Holy shit.
And the police analyzed the videos and photos and they confirmed to the public that the woman in the photos was not her. It wasn't her.
Fuck.
Wow.
What's horrible is they probably made some other girl do that though.
Yeah. And so 3 months after she disappeared in 2017, she showed up in a video on a North Korean propaganda website run by the government. She was sitting in a chair in front of this white wall. Her face was puffy, like she was crying.
Oh, no.
She was wearing a traditional Korean hanbok robe, which is like a wrap top, and a red patch that had images of North Korea's former leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. She introduced herself by another name. She said it was her real name, Jeon Hae-sung. She said she returned home on her own free will. She said, every day I spent in the South was hell. When I was alone in a cold, dark room, I was heartbroken, and I wept every day missing my fatherland and my parents. Her hair
no
was cut
way.
short, and her fans were speculating that the thick, pale makeup she was wearing was to cover up bruises. This video is 29 minutes long, and I have a clip of it.
Oh my God.
And this is obviously dubbed over in English.
I went to South Korea with a selfish pursuit to eat and live well, and a fantasy that I will be able to eat and live well and make lots of money there. But South Korea was not the place I imagined.
Oh,
I
yeah,
drifted
she looks
in
like she
and
was
out of many
crying.
places,
Yeah.
including bars, but nothing worked as I wanted. In a place like South Korea, where money is all that matters, a woman like me who betrayed and ran away from the motherland could only find jobs that involved so much mental and physical pain. Every day living in the South Korea society was like hell.
She also said, I went to the South harboring the fantasy that I would never go hungry and can make a lot of money. She called herself human trash. And she begged for forgiveness from Kim Jong-un. She said, I committed a terrible crime. I am worthless. I do not deserve to live.
Oh my God, this poor girl.
Yes, and she was in 2 more videos. One in 2017, she was condemning the capitalist South. And another in February 2018, she repeatedly shot down rumors that she'd been kidnapped. And she hasn't been seen since February 2018. She was in a video and then no more videos of her. So the South Korean authorities are still trying to figure out what happened. They believe she was tricked into going on a trip to China so that North Korean government agents could kidnap her and take her back across the border.
Oh.
They said that someone contacted her and told her that the $10,000 that she had tried to send home to her parents through a Chinese middleman had gone missing. Because a lot of these defectors try to come to South Korea to make money to send home to their parents because no one has money up there.
Yeah.
And so she went to China to see if she could get this money back, but it was a trap. And this is apparently a new tactic that Kim Jong-un is using to get defectors back. He has his secret police act as these brokers and middlemen. And when the defectors try to send money back to their families, which they often do, they just capture them. And since Kim Jong-un took power in 2011, at least 25 defectors have resurfaced, claiming that they returned voluntarily, that they were fed up with life in the South. And sure, they may have returned out of desperation after failing to adjust to life in the South. But they also suspect that some were abducted back to the North after they were lured to China.
I'm sure.
And North Korean agents have tried to blackmail defectors in the South using their relatives in the North as hostages.
Oh my God.
They'll be like, you better come back here or we're going to kill your family.
Fuck.
Oh,
That's how fucked up they are. So let's take a quick break. And then when we get back, we can talk about why she was targeted.
Web Crawlers has a Patreon to get access to rewards, bonus episodes, shout outs, episodes a day early without ads, video episodes. Please go to patreon.com/webcrawlers. You can donate as little as $2 a month or just do a flat fee for the year. So you can just do $30. You're done for the year and you're a patron and get access to all of the bonuses. Also, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. If you give us a 5-star review, we will read it on the show during our mailbag episodes, and we are very appreciative. It helps us get up on the charts. Also, if you subscribe or tell a friend to subscribe. Additionally, we have a hotline. Insert jingle here.
626-604-6262.
We have hundreds of voicemails. You guys
So
sometimes
many.
leave 2 to 3 voicemails at a time. A lot of you apologize for the voicemails you leave right after leaving them. We are obsessed with your voicemails. Literally, I like them personally better than our main shows. So
Same.
please,
Honestly, same.
Honestly, same.
Because it's less work for us.
Well, yeah, that too. But also, we really get to know you guys as our listeners. So please keep leaving them, and we play them during our mailbag episodes.
So a lot of people have speculated that North Korea wanted to use Lim as a propaganda tool so she could persuade other North Koreans that South Korea was this evil, terrible place to live to try to stop more defectors. And they probably threatened to kill her family if she didn't cooperate. They probably had a gun to her and were like, you better say this or we're going to kill you and your family. And so Lim's friend Sun Hee said that Lim wanted to come to South Korea to send money home because her dad worked in this big chemical factory, but he developed breathing problems and had to retire. But there's a huge shortage of medicine in North Korea, so she needed money to buy medicine on the black market to send back to her family.
Oh my God.
It's a real nightmare. When you defect to South Korea from North Korea, you receive this 12-week training course. You get housing, financial assistance, and they try to help you adjust.
Wow.
Because they welcome defectors. But a lot of time they find it hard to make the transition from the North's highly regimented totalitarian system to the South's fast-paced, hyper-competitive capitalist society. And they often cannot catch up with the South Korean peers in schools and workplaces. Yeah. And they have strong accents, apparently. It causes them to be prejudiced against. Oh. And they can usually only get jobs that are shunned by South Koreans. And I find this fascinating. The defector reality TV genre is so popular. So in South Korea, people are extremely curious about what's going on in the North because there's nothing coming out of there. It's so secretive.
Yeah.
Right.
And Lim was on a few shows. One was called Moron Bong Club, which was a talk show featuring the Northern Beauties, who tell all of their stories about living in the North. Some are humorous and some are heartbreaking. And also, like, this is when I was watching them, it's so strange. They have these like...
Oh, you can watch them online?
Oh, yeah. There's tons of them.
Oh, my God.
They have these sound effects, wacky sound effects. Like when someone was talking about seeing a firing squad, they use machine gun sound effects.
Oh my God.
I heard a boing, like wacky noises, like
Oh, my God.
suspenseful music. And in one episode, Lim told a story about how she had to bribe her teacher with a pack of cigarettes so that she could skip classes and sell smuggled bottles of liquor to make money. And like she was telling it in like an upbeat manner. Like the audience was laughing like, oh, that's so crazy.
Well, it's probably like so heartbreaking, but like they need to, I'm sure, make money now in South Korea. So they're like, oh, if I can go on this reality show and make light of what happened, that's like the only thing I can do now. It's horrible.
And she was also on a dating show called Love Unification, Southern Man, Northern Woman, which pairs South Korean men with young, attractive North Korean women. What's fucked up about it is that it plays off of the societal differences of North Korean women who are like not as tech savvy as South Korean men. Like they make jokes about them like not knowing how to work a microwave.
Oh God.
Like it's these South Korean men showing these North Korean women like how to do things because they don't know a lot of things.
How do they defect? Like what is the way people are able to get out of North Korea?
They sneak into China, which is what they believe Lim did. She swam across a river. I don't know if there's different accounts, but she may have gotten married in China and was able to stay there and then like got divorced and then went from China to South Korea.
Right.
Because you can't go from North Korea to South Korea. Like the border is crazy. I don't know if you saw this video that came out. I think it was a couple years ago, but it shows this guy defecting. He steals a military vehicle in North Korea, drives it, and there's people chasing him. And he tries to drive over through like the woods to try to cross because the border's like literally right there. His car gets stuck in a ditch.
Oh no.
He opens the door and literally like 20 feet away, like 5 men with guns shooting at him. He runs over the border quickly. They're shooting at him and he's just running. And
Did he make it over the border?
Yeah, he made it.
Oh, this is like Handmaid's Tale shit.
Yeah. The video is crazy.
But then his family, I'm sure if his family is still there, then, they got...
Yeah.
I'm sure they got assassinated. That's horrible.
Sucks. It really sucks. And then another show that I watched, and I watched so many Korean TV shows, Now on My Way to Meet You, which were a panel of the North Korean beauties and comedians discuss life in North Korea. And there's this Amazing Race style show where North Korean women are paired with South Korean men to take on various challenges like trudging through mud, carrying a bucket of water on their head.
Oh my God.
How wild.
So why was Lim targeted instead of like, the other defectors? Because there's dozens of defectors living in South Korea that are like vlogging and posting on YouTube about their life in North Korea. So why was Lim targeted? And one of the reasons is because she talked about the military in her blog post because she joined the army when she was 17.
Do they have to join the army in North Korea? Is it like Israel where like everyone has to be in the army?
Oh, I'm not sure. That's a good question.
I'm going to give that a goog.
She talked about the terrible conditions and the abuse. She said male officers would pick the prettiest female soldiers to have sex with, and some women were given to male soldiers for a night as a reward for loyalty or bravery.
Jesus. Yeah, it says Article 86 of the North Korean Constitution states national defense is the supreme duty in honor of the citizens, and it requires all citizens to serve in the military.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. But also in the military, women rarely got pregnant because their periods usually stopped due to the harsh conditions and malnutrition. And then all of her blog posts were taken down shortly after she was kidnapped. So like you can't really find, I tried to find any of her blog posts. I couldn't find anything. And a few years ago, Kim Jong-un appointed his younger sister, Kim Yo-jong, to a more influential role because up until then, there had been almost no women in positions of power in North Korea.
Whoa.
And people believe that Kim Jong-un did this on purpose to use her as like a female role model to stop young women from defecting. They're like, look, we have a woman in North Korea running things. Like, she's cool, just like you guys. But she's just as evil as her brother. In June 2020, she was allegedly investigated by the South Korean government for ordering the bombing of a liaison office on the border that she had built to improve relations with the South. So, like, that whole family is just not good.
It says here, I'm reading this article real quick, about women in the military in North Korea. It says after 6 months to a year of service, the women don't menstruate anymore because of malnutrition and stressful environment.
Yep. Melissa just said that.
What?
I just said that.
Melissa said you just did what you hate Melissa and I doing.
I did? Oh, no.
You did it.
Oh, God.
You're
I
on
was
the other
really
side.
engrossed in the article. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Wow, how the tables have turned. That's fucked up because of stress and like just not eating.
No,
it's
horrible.
crazy. That's horrible. Sorry. Continue.
Also, Kim Jong-un has intensified the crackdown on South Korean movies and TV dramas smuggled from China, through which North Korean defectors said they learned of life in the South. So that's where they learned of like, oh, wait a minute, life is... I wonder what they were watching. I wonder if they had like American TV shows smuggled.
Wow, this is crazy.
So yeah, no one has seen or heard from Lim since that last video in February 2018. And it's been speculated that she could have been executed or sent to a gulag, which is an internment camp, once North Korean officials had no more use for her as a propaganda tool. Like, I would think that if they were going to use her for propaganda, they would keep using her to make videos, but she hasn't been in one in 3 years.
God, this is so sad.
I would assume she might be dead. I don't nobody knows. They said she's with her family, but like, who knows?
She looks so devastated in this video. It's so like you can just see such a difference between how she looked, in the video she was making herself versus how she looks in this video in North Korea. It's just so devastating.
Yeah, all her fans are like, why is she wearing so much pale makeup? Like, is she covering up bruises on her face?
Yeah.
Or like, she just looks like she's just been crying for hours.
Oh, God, how horrible.
Yeah, it's so sad. So anyway,
wow.
That, and there's this whole world of North Korean defectors who post on YouTube like what their lives were, and they're like super popular.
Well, if people want to watch, because you did such great research for this, if people want to watch some of these like reality shows or some of these defector videos or anything, what did you Google or YouTube to watch those?
There's this one show called Love Unification, Southern Man, Northern Woman. And then like from there, I just like went through a bunch of videos. One called Now on My Way to Meet You. And it's just, if you Google North Korean beauties, that's what they're called. And they're like, they do like spots on TV shows all the time, like interviews.
Wow.
It's a fascinating world.
And if you want to help North Korean refugees and North Korean defectors, there's a lot of places that you can donate. There is a place called Crossing Borders. There's another place called the Borgen Project, BORGEN. And we will list some other places as well that you can donate or look into.
There's Liberty in North Korea, which helps rescue and empower North Korean refugees.
Yeah, so we will list some of those as well. And if you want to donate, you can do so to help people like Lim. Anyways, Melissa, if people want to reach us or contact us, where can they do so?
You can email us at webcrawlerspod@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram.
Anyways, I am Allie Siegel.
I am Melissa Stettin.
And I'm producer Maria.
Bye.
An Erios original.
Powered by Acast.